Son, daughter, today I invite you to pause for a moment, to quiet the noise of the world, to look within your home and also within your heart. Perhaps in recent times, you've felt the weight of distance, coldness, and the lack of real conversation. Perhaps you've noticed cracks appearing where once there were none. And before those cracks turn into chasms, before sadness takes hold, I want to take your hand and walk with you towards restoration. I see what you're feeling, even when you don't say a word. I know the tears you hold back so you don't worry anyone. I know the urge to run, to give up, to stop trying. But I also know the love that still lives inside you, even if it's wounded, even if it's weary. It's that love I want to rekindle. Don't think you're fighting alone. I am with you. When you hold your tongue to avoid hurting someone, I see you. When you fight to keep the peace even though you feel like screaming, I am right there beside you. When you kneel in secret and pray for a miracle in your home, I am listening. Nothing escapes my eyes. Not a word, not a sigh, not a single tear. And so today I ask you, entrust your home to me. Not just the walls and the roof, but the memories, the bonds, the wounds, and the hopes. Hand it all over to me without holding anything back. Sometimes healing can only begin once we recognize the cracks, not to condemn, but to heal. Not to expose, but to rebuild. I have no desire to shame you for past mistakes. I long to teach you how to start again. Perhaps you've grown used to the distance between you and those you love most. Perhaps you've come to accept coldness, silence, and the lack of tenderness as normal. But I tell you, it's not meant to be this way. The home I dreamed for you is a place of welcome, forgiveness, laughter, and vibrant love. And that dream can still become reality before your home falls apart completely, before hearts harden to the point they no longer recognize each other, before love falls asleep and fades away. Pray with me. Let me in. Let me act. I do not force my way in, I wait to be invited. And today, with all the tenderness of my heart, I am knocking at your door. Small changes can bring about great miracles. A word spoken with love, a hug offered without pride, a sincere apology. Don't wait for the other person to make the first move. Be the one who breaks the cycle. Be the one who sows peace even in dry and hardened soil. I will be with you in every step, in every effort, in every tear that softens pride. Nothing will be in vain. Your home matters to me. Your children, your marriage, your family ties, they all matter to me. I did not call you to live in silent battles. I called you to be a sign of my presence within your home. And wherever I am, love always has the final word. I know how hard you've tried. I know there have been moments when you thought, it's no use anymore. But I tell you, don't give up now. It's not too late to rebuild. It's not too late to restore. Today, I plant a new seed in your heart, a seed of hope, reconciliation, and healing. Tend to it with prayer, with small acts of love, with patience, and you will see fruit you never even imagined. Fruit that will bring joy and peace back into your home. I do not promise the absence of difficulties, but I promise my constant presence. I promise strength for the hard days. I promise wisdom for each decision. And above all, I promise a faithful love. A love that never abandons, a love that restores. So now, breathe deeply and hand over that pain you've been carrying. Hand me your fears, your frustrations, your delayed dreams. Trust in me, even if you cannot yet see the signs of change. What I am doing in the unseen you will see blossom at the right time. I am faithful to fulfill my promises. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to control everything. You only need to trust and keep walking with me, one step at a time, one act of love each day. I bless your home, I bless your days, I bless your efforts. And even now I declare, where there is pain today, there will be healing. Where there is distance today, there will be reunion. Where there is silence today, there will be laughter and words of love. I am the one who makes all things new, and I want to begin with your home. Son, daughter, I know the story behind each silence that now echoes through your home. I know the hugs that became rare, the glances that started to turn away, the words that lost their tenderness over time. But know this, I also know the power within a soul that refuses to give up. And that's why I am here so close, calling you to believe once again that rebuilding is possible. When you were a child, perhaps you dreamt of a home filled with love. Perhaps you promised yourself that you would do things differently, that you would break the cycles that once hurt you. And today, seeing the fight within you to keep hope alive, I rejoice, because every small act of love you offer, even when it's not returned, is a seed planted in my garden. And I promise you, none of those seeds will be forgotten. Reconciliation, my son, my daughter, begins in the heart. It is not forced, it is not faked. It is born from the grace I pour out over those who sincerely ask for it. So today, here I ask you, open your heart not only to hear me, but to let me act. Do not fear change. Do not fear being the first to love, the first to forgive, the first to draw near. There is strength in the one who humbles themselves for the sake of unity. Many believe strength means never giving in, but I tell you, true strength is the ability to reach out a hand even when everything inside you wants to walk away. True strength is looking at the family member who hurt you and choosing to love them anyway. True strength is understanding that forgiveness doesn't erase the pain. It frees you from the prison that pain creates. And that's the strength I am ready to renew within you today. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to fix everything in a single day. The restoration of a home is like the healing of a deep wound. It takes time, care, and persistence. But most of all, it takes love. And that love is not born of human effort. It is born in me. So even if rejection has shaped your story, even if the absence of love has marked your past, today I call you to write a new story, not by repeating old mistakes, but by building a new legacy for those who come after you. Perhaps you are praying for a distant son, for a daughter who seems to have forgotten all she was taught. Perhaps you are fighting to keep a marriage that has lost the sweetness of its early days. Or perhaps you are simply trying to gather the broken pieces of a wounded family. Whatever your battle, know this: I am fighting with you. I see every prayer you have whispered in silence, without anyone else knowing. Every time you knelt alone, in your room and cried out, "Lord, save my home," I have kept every cry. I have recorded every tear as a precious seed, and in the right time, you will see the harvest. So today I tell you, do not give up on your children. Even if they are distant, even if they seem cold and indifferent, the love you planted within them, the words you sowed, the truth you taught, all of it still lives on. And I know the perfect time to make it blossom. Protect your home through prayer. Do not allow discouragement, bitterness, or anger to find a place within its walls. Turn every room into a haven of peace. Turn every word into an opportunity for healing. Turn every small gesture into a bridge towards reconciliation. Today I call you to bless your home with your presence, with words that build up, with looks that welcome, with patience that never gives up. When your strength runs low, remember, you are not walking alone. I am within your home even when it feels like everything is falling apart, and where I am, there is always hope. I am not daunted by cracked walls. I am not discouraged by broken furniture or shattered stories. I am the one who lays new foundations where the world sees only ruins. I am the one who writes new stories, where many believe it is the end. And the story of your home is far from over. Many long to see grand miracles. But I tell you, the greatest miracle is to love again where hurt once lived, to trust again where betrayal once reigned, to embrace again where distance once grew, and that miracle I am preparing within you. So today, son, daughter, do not harden your heart. Do not say, "I've tried too many times." Do not say, "It's too late to change." Because as long as I am with you, and I will always be, there is room for transformation. There is room for a new beginning. Your home has not been forgotten. Your efforts are not in vain. Your pain has not gone unnoticed. Every prayer, every tear, Every attempt to reach out is being gathered and turned into blessing. Trust, wait, persevere. Restoration is a process of love, of patience, of daily new beginnings. And today, by praying with me, you have already taken the most important step. You have opened the door for me to come in and transform all that needs renewing. And I promise I will not enter empty-handed. I will bring peace, healing, and new life. I see your weary heart. I know it is not always easy to carry hope when everything around you shouts otherwise. I know there are days when loneliness weighs heavy, even surrounded by others. And it is precisely on those days that I hold you closest, even when you do not realize it. You do not have to carry everything alone. I did not create you to live suffocated by expectations, hurt, and fear. I created you to be free. Free to love without fear. Free to forgive without restraint. Sometimes the tallest walls within a home are not made of bricks, but of harsh words, of cold glances, of silences that wound deeper than shouting ever could. But today I tell you, even the highest walls can fall when you choose to love as I love you, without demanding perfection, without expecting anything in return. The love that restores does not seek to control. It seeks to welcome. It waits patiently. It believes when everyone else has given up. This love is born from my presence within you. Perhaps you think it is too late, that the wounds are too old, the hurt too deep. But I tell you, with me there is no such thing as too late. Every story can be rewritten, every bond can be repaired. Every home can be rebuilt. If today distance separates you from your children, know this: I am able to cross any distance. If today pride separates you from your spouse, know this: I can melt even the hardest pride. If today pain keeps you from meeting the eyes of those you love, know this: I can heal even the wounds you've hidden away. Nothing is lost to the one who turns water into wine, tears into dancing, death into life. And I want to do this within your home. You do not need to understand the whole path. You only need to trust me with each step. Sometimes the first step is so small it seems insignificant. A message, a gesture, an apology. But in my sight, what the world sees as small is mighty for the heart. And these steps make way for miracles. Your home was meant to be a refuge, not a battlefield. It was designed to be a garden, not a desert. And even if today you see only ruins where dreams once stood, I tell you, I am the God who restores gardens. I am the God who breathes life into forgotten seeds. And I still have plans for your home. Guard your home as you would guard a treasure. Do not let careless words destroy what took years to build. Do not let routine steal the joy of small moments. Do not let the rush of life harden what was meant to be tender. Live love intentionally every single day. Look at your children with the gaze I have for them. Eyes of hope, trust, and patience. Do not see only the mistakes they make today. See the future I am preparing for them. See the transformation already underway, even if still invisible to your eyes. Trust that no prayer offered in love is ever in vain. Look at your spouse not through eyes of criticism, but through eyes of compassion. Everyone carries wounds they do not show. Everyone fights internal battles few understand. When you choose to look tenderly, you become my instrument of healing within your own home, and through you I can do what no one else could. Be patient. True restoration is like the growth of a tree. It happens quietly, unseen, but its roots deepen each day. Even if you do not see immediate changes, do not give up sowing seeds. There is a time to plant, a time to water, and a time to harvest. And the harvest will come, and it will be plentiful. I specialize in bringing life where man has declared death. I specialize in writing new beginnings where others see only endings. And today, by praying with me, you are allowing me to write a new chapter for your family. A chapter of reconciliation, peace, and renewed love. A chapter that will be a testimony to many. When you feel your strength fading, remember, I am your strength. When you think about giving up, remember, I am the one who upholds your faith. When you do not know what to say, let your silence become prayer. When you do not know what to do, simply stay. I am working. You do not need to save your home by your own strength. You simply need to invite me to be its foundation. With me, the winds may blow, the storms may come, but the house will stand firm, because it is not built on emotions, but on the rock, and that rock is me, and everything built upon this rock is unshakable. Today, I bless you with a peace the world cannot give. I bless your mind so you may think with wisdom. I bless your words so they may bring life. I bless your hands so they may be instruments of welcome. And I bless your home so it may be a place where my presence dwells. Lift up your eyes, son, daughter. The story of your home has not ended in sorrow. It is only now beginning to be rewritten in love. And in due time, you will see that every effort, every prayer, every act of faith was not in vain. I am doing something new, and it begins today. Son, daughter. I know that sometimes you wonder if all your efforts are worth it. If anyone truly sees how hard you fought to hold your home together. If anyone will ever recognize the silent love you've poured out. And today I want to answer you. Every gesture, every sacrifice, every prayer holds eternal value in my sight. The love that sustains a home is not made of grand declarations. It is woven through daily choices. It is found in the silence that avoids an argument, in the forgiveness offered before an apology is even spoken, in the presence that speaks louder than 1,000 words. I see the days when you swallow bitter words to preserve peace. I see the nights you pray alone, longing, simply for love to bloom again. I see the mornings when you choose to start anew, even when everything inside you begs you to give up. And I tell you, I am in each of these silent choices. I am writing your faithfulness into the story of your home. Do not let the enemy convince you that your efforts are wasted. The seed of love never dies when it is watered with faith. Even if the soil looks dry, even if the answer seems delayed, trust. I am the God of deep roots, roots that sustain even when fruit has yet to appear. And in the right time, the harvest will come. Today, I want you to look at your home through my eyes, not just as it is now, but as it can be when restored. I want you to see not only the wounds, but also the possibility of healing. Not only the distances, but also the bridges that can be rebuilt. Because where you see an ending, I see a beginning. Today, I invite you to bless your home with words of life. Words that lift up, that heal, that bring hearts closer together. Even if the atmosphere feels hostile, be the one who sows peace. Even if responses come wrapped in coldness, be the one who answers with tenderness. Because your attitude holds the power to change the atmosphere of your home. Do not let discouragement defeat you. Sometimes, those who need your love the most are the ones who know least how to show it. Sometimes those who hurt the most are silently crying out for care. And that is why I chose you to be light within your home. A light that does not extinguish when rejected. A light that endures. I am with you in the moments when tiredness feels overwhelming. I am with you when you feel like you're giving more than you are receiving. I am with you when the hug you wish to give finds no welcome. And I say to you, keep going, persevere, because I am strengthening you for something greater than you can imagine. Every prayer you lift up for your family rises to my throne like sweet incense. Nothing is forgotten, nothing is ignored. No tear shed in love goes unnoticed by me. I gather each one and transform them into seeds of miracles. I know what you have faced so far. I know the rejections, the closed doors, the times you were misunderstood. But I also know the courage that lives within you, the faith that, though shaken, never fully went out. And it is this faith that I come to rekindle today. Do not look at others as your enemies. The true battle is not against flesh and blood, but against all that seeks to divide, wound, and destroy. Therefore, fight on your knees. Fight with love. Fight with the certainty that I am fighting alongside you. Reconciliation begins in the unseen. It begins in the heart. It begins when you decide, through prayer, to release forgiveness, even if it was never asked for. It begins when you bless, even through your pain. It begins when you trust that my grace is sufficient to do what you cannot. I do not give up on families. I do not give up on broken homes. I do not give up on wounded hearts. And if you allow me to work, you will see with your own eyes what today you can only imagine in prayer. You will see restoration unfold before you. While you pray, I am working. While you plant love, I am preparing the ground for reconciliation. While you choose to stay even without visible signs, I am shaping miracles in secret. Do not doubt what I can do with a sincere and persevering faith, for what is impossible to man is just the beginning for me. Perhaps you feel that you have waited too long, that you have given too much, that you have suffered too much. But I say to you, the story of your home will yet have chapters of joy you cannot now imagine. Chapters written with tears of gratitude, no longer tears of sorrow. So, do not grow weary of loving. Do not grow weary of believing. Do not grow weary of sowing peace where conflict now reigns. Your effort is not invisible to me. I see it, and I am acting. Today, son, daughter, I renew your hope. I renew your courage to take another step, to try once more, to love a little further, because it is one gesture at a time that the greatest miracles come to life, and your home will bear witness to my restoring power. Right now, I invite you to breathe deeply and release the burden you are carrying. Let every worry that keeps you from resting be placed in my hands. You do not have to bear the weight of restoring everything and everyone by yourself. I am here to be your help, your shelter, your renewed strength. How many times have you thought you were fighting in vain? How many times have you longed simply to hear a thank you, and I love you, a sign that your love is still seen? I have seen it. I have felt it with you. And today, I say, no act of love passes unnoticed by me. Every gesture, every word of tenderness, every forgiveness offered, all of it is building invisible bridges that in time will become visible. There are miracles you cannot yet see because they are growing beneath the surface. Deep roots that I myself am strengthening. And that is why I ask you, persevere a little longer. Keep loving a little longer. Keep believing, even when your eyes have not yet seen what your heart has begun to hope for. You are not alone in this rebuilding. I am restoring with you, brick by brick, bond by bond, embrace by embrace. I am aligning hearts, clearing misunderstandings, tearing down walls of pride. Even where you had lost all hope, I am breathing new life. And what I rebuild, son, daughter, no one can destroy. Today, I ask you to trust the work I have begun. Trust, even when the scene appears unchanged. Trust, even when acts of love are still hesitant and rare, because truly every prayer you lift is like a firm hammer strike in rebuilding your home. And every strike is necessary for love's foundation to hold firm. Do not look back with regret. What has passed, I have covered with my grace. What was lost, I know how to restore. What was wounded, I know how to heal. Your futures and your family's future and are safe in my hands. I have called you to be a peacemaker within your home. Even when you feel exhausted, I will renew your strength. Even when you feel unseen, I will be your comfort. Even when answers are delayed, I will be your certainty. And step by step, you will see that it was worth trusting. Understand, you will not always be immediately understood. You will not always be repaid with the love you give. But even so, continue to love. Continue to be the reflection of my love within your home. Because love, when sustained by me, never fails. Today, if you need to cry, cry. Cry upon my shoulder. Cry knowing I turn tears into rivers of life. Cry knowing I gather every tear to water the dreams I have planted within you. Cry with hope, not despair. And after you cry, rise up. Rise with your head held high, not because everything has changed in an instant, but because your faith has become stronger than any adversity. Rise up with the assurance that those who walk with me never walk in vain. Rise with the confidence that the end of your story is written by my hand. What I have planned for your family is more beautiful than your fears can imagine. It is stronger than the wounds of the past. It is more lasting than any crisis. Because I build on eternal foundations, not on fleeting emotions. And what I build, no one can tear down. I know there are old scars, words that wounded, absences that left gaps. But I am doing something new. Something that does not depend on what was lost, but on what is still possible to live. I want to restore not just relationships, but also the hope within your heart. I want you to dream again of a home full of life, full of laughter, full of heartfelt embraces. I want you to believe again that better days are possible. And I want you to know that your effort will not end in frustration. I am faithful to fulfill every promise I planted within you. Do not cling to what was broken. Cling to what I am building now. Cling to my word which never returns void. Cling to my love which never fails. Cling to hope, which is a sure and steadfast anchor for the soul. Today, I renew the strength you thought you had lost. Today, I lift your head and say, son, daughter, there is still life within your home. There are still promises to be fulfilled. There are still hugs to be shared. There is still forgiveness to be given and received. Your home will be known as a place of peace. Your children will be called a blessing. Your marriage will be strengthened by grace. Your story will become a living testimony of my restoring power, and many will see the transformation and glorify my name. Keep going, son. Keep going, daughter. What seems small now will become great. What is now tears will become smiles. What is now silence will become songs. Because I am the one who turns sorrow into celebration,